Right, I'm just gonna talk about my experience with film, sport, music, design. Right, it's covered the whole thing. It's called industry product. Right. Let's forget about art because artist, for me, an artist is a person that doesn't think in money really. I mean, they can think in money to survive, but it's more like what do they want to express and comment on our daily life and politics and stuff without being guided by the bankers, the management. They are, you could say, they're independent, right? In Denmark, we have not independent media, for example. They are all tax supported, and an artist might be on a list that is tax supported. So actually, the real artists are not independent, and it's very difficult to be independent because everybody is tax employed, basically, right? But my experience, I think I've been like almost like a stunt woman or stand-in for some pretty high stake sport events and also film events, right? Big things, or Olympics and '07 and stuff like that. And what they do is they take another person to make the stunt and another person to play the role. So we are in like third degree hidden kind of thing. So I might do a stunt on ski, I might do some gymnastics, but the person who is actually performer is another person, right? The same happened actually in music and also in design, right? I made some ideas, and I also actually went to school, becoming a professional designer, right? The only thing you can really learn is to use 3D computing and also some theoretically how you design and research and analyze, right? So actually now I'm becoming like a product designer, right? Which they probably knew I was because I was actually, I was hearing some of the old YouTube stuff and thought that's really something, right? And I also like, I'm actually a little on being a trendsetter, so I actually know the environment that I like might be the trend setting environment, right? So basically, as I see it, I wrote a lot of lyrics. I was sending them. I also was written a lot of manuscript synopsis or novels, and all of that. I tell you some of the names like Bodyguard, YouTube, Simple Mind, Sting, Pearl Jam, some of the Danish artists. Yeah, that's about it. So probably something I forgot, right? So basically, the way I write songs is small kind of pictures. It's a little bit like it's a bit like a novel where you describe a scene in very few words. That's the difference between novels and poems, right? And for me, it was a sort of almost like a diary. So I have a picture, for example, I had a photograph library books where there was a picture of a young man found dead in a winter storm in Australia, and he was hanging over a barber fence. And that is a very strong image, and it's a very strong lyric in the way that if you write about that, it's a very strong image of, violation or war or something. Um, so you can actually, if you write a song, you can use some very strong words together as almost like you commercialize a strong message, right? He let all a man need, the best a man can get, right? That's a very strong verb, right? Also almost like a sin, right? So basically, when I was in my 20s, I had another plan about the DD wall came down thing, right? That got me caught up in Litauen in a jail. and also got like the Northern Ireland thing. I was very I was very surprised to hear Jim Keir from Simple Mind talk about that war in Belfast when we were in visit in Edinburgh. And actually, I promised myself that if I could do something, I would do something. And I actually did by calling Clinton about peace processing in Northern Ireland with the United States. Also, with some film projects to communicate the thing, right? So I had some other things I wanted to do, but the music industry, the ballet, the choreography, the film industry, the books and stuff, they totally forgot to pay respect for lyrics, royalty. And now I figured when I was younger, if all of these people that are written for, if then none of them comes back with some kind of royalty, it means that there is something bigger going on. There must be some kind of organized crime going on. Prohibit these artists to send a check for what they're lending or sending invitation, come and sing chorus, come and sing and dance, I know you can, and stuff like that. So basically I filed the FBI in faxed in 1985, 85, 86, 7, and told them about, hey, these artists that don't pay respect for royalty, are they in danger? A little bit like the Jackson. The Jackson, I think, was so famous that he lost control, maybe to his family and who is who and stuff like that. But as I see it today, an investment in a band, right, is not that much money. It's a lot of money, but it's not that much. So basically, what they do is they sign something, they invest in a lot of things, and what goes up, right? So basically the lawyers and the bankers, they take the royalty and they keep them, right? And basically they also maybe even take away the artist, or maybe he resign, and then they put in a stand-in. You can see it on the deep fake how easy it is to find somebody looking like, right? So they don't have to really pay big money to the artist because he's a stand-in, and they don't have to pay royalty to the writer or the artist because they're not in control, right? So it's a little bit like casino, I think. Like they put on money on it and they swing the wheel, and where the big stack is, they hope to get like a big stack from the other thing. So actually, it's a bit like they gamble with the money because there's a lot of bands and books and all of that that doesn't pay back, right? They have like, if they're assignment. I'm not talking about people's own projects. So basically, when they really score on a person like Whitney Houston, Jackson, Bowie, Prince, U2, they score big time, and they don't need to pay anyone a respect because who is going to go against Jackson's company or Whitney's company? Nobody, because you can't. And that's why I actually filed in 1985. I wrote about all this to the FBI because I knew how Hollywood worked from when I was a child, a black stallion, right? I knew that there would be some kind of grim truth about it. And therefore, I didn't want to spend more time in that business. I can sing, I can dance, and I can write a manuscript, I can make a film, and I can make a lyric. But I knew how dangerous it was. So even I got really, really upset and sad. I had like another career that I chosen, even that also in money wise failed, right? I'm very proud of the peace in Northern Ireland. I'm actually very proud that DDF finally came out of the shadow of imprisonment of these people. And I'm very proud of the new Russia rising up and being a good partner to the United States in general. And I'm very proud of, I saved 10,000 people in Yugoslavia. I'm very proud. but I'm not proud that you can do all this stuff together with a lot of people and people don't pay your money. So I actually did that for free, right? So actually, I can easily understand why some artists might, why didn't she come along doing whatever, dancing, singing, writing, because I had no money. And sometimes I was imprisonment in Litauen. I was kept down here, a little too drunk. I was also sometimes in hospital for treatment from, yeah, you know, terrorism and imprisonment. So basically, sometimes I was, not doing anything, and then I woke up recovering and had no money. So basically, what my experience is that the industry don't give a shit about people's relation, don't give a shit about whose right is who, and really don't really care. So it's a bit like what I also have a farming education. It's a bit like a farming education. They overstep the nature of a cow in means way. They're gonna use a lot of money to restore the health of a cow, filled up with chemicals and rotten food and indoor life, right? It's the same. It's an industry number. You could say that some of these artists just have a number in a bank and everybody's drawing from it. So that's it. So basically, my advice to people that I actually was addressing FBI to make a sort of famous hotline, because Jackson tried to go to the police and say he was endangered. Nobody was listening. They thought he was a copy. So if you get really famous, you almost disappear. And some did disappear. And that's scary. I mean, really scary. And actually, I also feel threatened a lot of the times where if I make any, there was a period of my life when I made any claim saying, hey, I didn't get paid for that manuscript or that, I was threatened. And, she's just blah, blah, blah. So basically, it's not that easy. But anyhow, Mr. Weinstein probably has something to say about it because he was on some of the films, I think, and a lot of other things going, Me Too, Stop the Pedophilia in Hollywood, and all that stuff. We launched that because I had enough of it, really. I also think that pedophilia and this is a major impact on commercial art, because the truth is, if you are explored as a child, women or men, it's much easier to groom you to be accepting explorement in the fan business, right? So if you are explored, you will likely, explore your feelings, be explored as a famous person. So can you be an artist without being explored? Yes, of course you can. I think that the way they pressure young women and children to strip on stage, right? That's also a step further than just singing a song, having your dress on. Now you're also gonna be like a porn star singing a song, right? So yeah. So basically, I think there will be like a drift against all this, saying, I'm singing a song and I'm keeping my jacket on, and that's it,